Okay, here we are. Thank you so much for joining this present memory class, online healing class. Thank you that you took time to sit back and relax with me in the remembrance of who we are. And as you can see, we are with two or more. So when that is happening, Jesus is present with us. So to start off with this, it's like this is how I started my day today, and that was I had a sudden visitor coming to me, and that happens quite often. This or Jesus, Joel, or whoever it can be, and this time it was Saint Germain who reminded me of the I am. Like before you say I am, just become conscious of what you're going to say and how you're going to define yourself, so that you don't want to say contract yourself with your own definitions. And he came to me with this idea, and he said, well, if you start to speak, sharing this as I am the resurrection and the life, if you repeat it a couple of times, suddenly it's going to affect you. And so I want right away to invite you to do that. Just repeat after me, like, I am the resurrection and the life. I'm the resurrection and the life. That is the I am, without any limit, um, without any contraction, but completely free and open. And you say like, wow, that's a bit too big of a step for me right now. And I say, well, it's about your reality. It is where you can connect with right now. So why not do that? And so I invite you to relax right now and breathe in just gently, and come into the place where you, during your meditations or whatever practice you have, come into the quiet place where you actually are starting to experience some stillness, or maybe just be aware of your thoughts right now, and or feel the uncomfortability of this body that you're sitting in, or whatever your experience is in this moment. Just be aware of what you are actually experiencing right now. It really does not matter how it looks, and it really doesn't matter. There's no good and bad in it. It's just your experience. That's what the only thing that counts. So yeah, you might want to close your eyes. You might want to relax and breathe a little bit more. Relax your shoulders. Maybe shake your shoulders a little bit. Like, oh yeah, this was actually what I was looking for. Just to relax a little bit and shake everything off a little bit. It's like I was so occupied with this and that, and I got so tempted by this appearance, and now it's time to let go of that. I can relax completely, letting it all go, and be in this space where I can actually remember who I really am, or experience a glimpse of the stillness that has been given me in this present moment. So whatever happened before, whether it's a minute ago or a year ago or 500 years ago, it really does not matter. You can let go of it. You will not need it in the next, say, 20 minutes. Yeah, you can feel that expansion already going on in your mind. You might want to spread out your arms if you feel like that. It's like, oh, that feels so good. Yeah, open that chest up a little bit. That's so good. Hmm. So yeah, you have the space to do this, and there's a provision of light for you to breathe in right now, to receive that healing for yourself that you're actually looking for. Nothing is stopping you from experiencing that. So yeah, make it easy for yourself, and forget what you thought just before, or yeah, just let go of this fear for now. Just let go of it. Create a little space for yourself to remember who you are. So I want to read a little bit more from what Saint-Germain was giving me this morning. And I just found this little piece and I have it on my phone, so that's easy. Oops, that's the Zoom link, that's something else. Yeah, here we go. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am the manifest perfection of being. I am the manifest perfection of being. I am love. I am light. I am the Buddha. I am the Christ. I am the will of God. I am protected. I am wisdom. I am healed. I am pure. I am complete. I am whole. I am that I am. And if you want to repeat that for yourself, I will put it on the website too, so you can read it again. But this is so beautiful. It's like, yes, I am pure. I am whole. I am healed. I am. See, there's nothing of a limitation in that. So there's no contraction connected to it. These are whole ideas that can become revelations to you if you just allow them to do so. You know, these are principles of your life. They are completely integrated into your being. So you don't need to integrate that into your being. That is already taken care of. But you can open yourself up to come to the place and say, like, okay, here I am. My hands are empty and I'm willing now to receive. So it can come to me. It can come to me. And I love that. I love that. I am that I am. Yeah. All right. So this is good to remember. Like, I am. Just remember when you say I am, if you make a description of yourself of some kind, when you use the words I am, what actually, how are you actually seeing yourself? Are you seeing yourself as limited, or are you seeing yourself without any limits? You know, that's up to you. But one thing is that the true principles are resonating with your inner being. So that's so great about them. All right. So I found one more of Joel's beautiful meditations too that I want to read. It is also an I am meditation. I'll read it to you because it's I love to share that with you. I am life eternal. The first and starting point for all healing work is this: since I and my Father are one, I am spirit, I am life eternal, I am truth. Like, there's not a truth in me, and there's not a life in me, there's not a soul in me, and there's not a God in me. Be still and know, I in the midst of me is God. I in the midst of me is the very presence and power of God, the Father within. I, and there's only one I, only one I, only one infinite eternal I, one selfhood, and therefore I am spirit. I am life eternal. I embody within myself the qualities and properties of God by the very nature of my being, which is the offspring of God, or child of God, or Christ of God. I am life eternal. So now it is also good to see, hey, where do I find myself with this? How is that working for me? Whoa, what is happening in my life? Where do I find myself right now? What is in this moment being presented to me? Where am I in the acceptance of that? So see, every one of us has his own experience of this, because this is literally the I. There's only one I, but there's your experience of it, of your connection with everything that is. So that is so individual, and that is so perfect for you. You know, that is the same with the appearances that take place. Like there's a perfect plan behind it, and that's working 100%. Like that works so perfectly that you can only become grateful that gives you such beautiful opportunities to go through the release of the unreality that you're walking around with, like the opportunities to release all that is not true. You'll have to accept a teacher for that. Like you have to accept your Holy Spirit for that, to teach you through this. But if you get the lesson, so to speak, if you get what it points to, then it's so fulfilling to see that there's something that you don't have to do anymore. You know, it's not that you learn something and then suddenly now you can do more things. No, this is always about undoing, about something that you don't have to do anymore. You're so used to doing certain things, and now the release is there, and you don't have to do that anymore. Like you don't need to be concerned with your own spiritual path anymore. It is not of your concern. This is being done to you. You know, this is happening to you. You allow these principles to work you in the undoing of that what never was. So that is the beauty of this process. So I want to read a little bit. I'm going to use the Course in Miracles for that. Just a little bit from the Final Vision, chapter 31. And it will tell you something about that. So I'll go through it pretty slowly. The images you make, the images you make cannot prevail against what God Himself would have you be. Be never fearful of temptation, then, but see it as it is another chance to choose again, and let Christ's strength prevail in every circumstance, in every place you raised an image of yourself before. So you raised images of yourself before, and now you don't have to do that anymore. So be never fearful of temptation then, but see it as it is, another chance to choose again. And let Christ's strength prevail in every circumstance and every place you raised an image of yourself before. For what appears to hide the face of Christ is powerless before His majesty. This is so great too. You know, whatever appears to hide the face of Christ is powerless before His majesty. Oh my God, you know, that is like, oh my God. It is powerless. and disappears before his holy sight. So it is whatever I think about anyone, whatever I think about my brother, whether I see them as sick, whether I see them as suffering, whether I see them as whatever, the greatest pain in the neck, so to speak. This is an opportunity to choose again. And what appears to hide the face of Christ is powerless. So it will go, it will melt like snow before the sun. The saviors of the world who see like him are merely those who choose his strength instead of their own weakness, seen apart from him. They will redeem the world, for they are joined in all the power of the will of God. And what they will is only what he wills. And this is the exercise that's connected to this. And this is like, okay, this is going to be my new habit. Listen to this carefully. Learn then the happy habit of response. The happy habit of response to all temptation, to perceive yourself as weak and miserable with these words. So are you ready for that? So this is your new happy habit of response to all temptation, to perceive yourself as weak and miserable. This is the response. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am his Son. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am his Son. So this is like, this is exactly where my strength is. This is Christ's strength. It is not an image of strength or anything like that. No, this is connected to your real being, to your inner being. So now you have a possibility to use something, and we love to use things. So this is like, no, it's not a method, it is a new habit. It's a happy habit. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am his Son. So here is your strength. So you can use that during the day, and you can repeat that or put it, make a nice drawing of it or something that you can repeat it for yourself, or you hang it on the bathroom door or whatever. So this is like, oh yeah, wait a minute. I cannot suffer anything. I am God's Son. I really thought I was suffering right now. I was really confused by all the appearances or whatever it was. I really saw myself as weak for a moment. Like, oh, wait a minute. I was just a bit confused for now. And but here's my new mission statement, so to speak. I am as God created me. Oh, I just forgot. So good to remember that. Mm. So here's some real uncompromising stuff too. You are as God created you, and so is every living thing you look upon, regardless of the images you see. Whoa, I need to repeat that one more time. You are as God created you, and so is every living thing you look upon, regardless of the images you see. What you behold as sickness and as pain, as weakness and as suffering and loss, is but a temptation to perceive yourself defenseless and in hell. Yield not to this, and you will see all pain in every form, wherever it occurs, but disappear as mist before the sun. A miracle has come to heal God's Son and close the door upon his dreams of weakness, opening the way to his salvation and release. Oh, I love that. Okay, so here's one more reference to your world. To your tired eyes, I bring a vision of a different world. So new and clean and fresh, you will forget the pain and sorrow that you saw before. Yet this a vision is which you must share with everyone you see, for otherwise you will not behold it. To your tired eyes, I bring a vision of a different world. So new and clean and fresh, you will forget the pain and sorrow that you saw before. Yet this is a vision, yet this a vision is, which you must share with everyone you see, for otherwise you will behold it not. To give this gift is how to make it yours. And God ordained in loving kindness that it be for you. And here's actually a very funny line that's really great. Let us be glad that we can walk the world and find so many chances to perceive another situation where God's gifts can once again be recognized as ours. So let us be glad that we can walk the world and find so many chances to perceive another situation where God's gifts can once again be recognized as ours. So here we are back into remembering that I am. It's like I am as God created me. If I forget for one moment and I'm being tempted about my perception of the way that I see things for a moment, I have an opportunity to relax into it and to see it in a different way by just allowing that to occur, by saying I am as God created. I'm as God created me, and all the ideas that I had before have nothing to do with that. So thank you so much for joining me with this, and to see that there's an opportunity to see all this in a whole different light, one that makes us happy instead of sad or anxious or anything like that. So this is really a place where we can be comforted for a moment. So maybe for a moment, just close your eyes to relax deeper into where you find yourself, deeper into your consciousness. And what I will do is read to you a miracle prayer to have this reconfirmation that you're in the right place and that you can be comforted and that you can rest in God. Eternal holiness abides in me. My holiness is far beyond my own ability to understand or know. Yet God, my Father, who created it, acknowledges my holiness as His. Our will together understands it, and our will together knows that it is so. Father, my holiness is not of me. It is not mine to be destroyed by sin. It is not mine to suffer from attack. Illusions can obscure it, but cannot put out its radiance, nor dim its light. It stands forever perfect and untouched. In it are all things healed, for they remain as you created them. And I can know my holiness, for holiness itself created me. And I can know my source, because it is your will that you be known. Eternal holiness abides in me. So I stay in this meditation for a moment. Eternal holiness abides in me. And whatever comes up is welcome to come up. If emotions come up or a release is taking place, just let that happen. Eternal holiness abides in me. Eternal holiness abides in me. Wow, thank you. All right, thank you so much for being with me in this meditation, in this prayer meditation. You know, it's so good to join together in this, to remember and extend it to one another. So I'm very grateful for you being here and joining in with us here tonight, or this evening, or this morning. You know, and take time to completely relax and be gentle with yourself. And this is really a time to rest, to come to yourself and to see what God's will for you is. So yeah, great opportunity to remember who we really are. Great opportunity to extend the love that we are. All right, thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you soon.